Next up, we have Pastor Mark Knudsen. He is a pastor at Augustana Lutheran Church, where Kat lives. They have a strong social justice mission, including sanctuary and other economic justice and social justice issues.
I was baptized there. Did you know that?
And it's an honor to be a pastor with Community Alliance of Tenants, located as a partner in doing justice, loving kindness, walking humbly together. As we come tonight to share in this, we are in a crisis in this city, and we all know it. And it's a crisis of humanity, but it is also a spiritual crisis. For what is taking place is immoral. We're reminded in Scripture, what are we called to do in many of the great faith traditions? To love kindness, to do justice, love kindness, and to walk humbly with God. And we're seeing a day in this city where justice is not being done, but greed is overcoming many neighborhoods. People are coming with money as if that should dictate the neighborhoods we live in. A developer can come and buy a building and evict everyone in 30 days. That is not just. And is it kind? Is it kind to displaced families whose children are beginning school these last 2 weeks and have to find another school and another place to live? I could tell you story after story. I want to make sure everybody knows that the faith communities in this city, the majority, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, Native American spiritual leaders, and other people of goodwill are committed to doing justice. And not the kind of justice that we see in society, but justice means right and fair relationships with one another, with the earth, and that means not letting race and gentrification drive this city to look something it should not look like. We need to look like all of us. And to celebrate that each and every day. And that takes rallies like this. It takes a sustained effort. It's a marathon, not a sprint, as we all know in this crowd. And so let me just say a couple vignettes. I can tell you about an 80-year-old who's related to our congregation. I'm not going to go names or anything, but I'm going to say who worked her whole life, has a pension and Social Security, and lost her place close to Lloyd Center, finally found a place past 82nd, and it's using up 95% of her income to live there, but she's afraid to try to find something else for fear she will have nothing. An 80-year-old in this city. I can tell you about 20-somethings whose grandmothers were right over here and mothers and have no chance of coming back into the neighborhoods with which they were raised. I can tell, I have to shout. I can tell you about 40-somethings who have their bags packed. These are members of our church, not knowing if the rents will go up $300 a month, as is the average in the city, in the next month or two. Do you know what $324 a month adds up to? About $4,000 a year. Do the math. You'll need a $3 or $4 increase in your paycheck to just meet the rent. That is unjust, and that is... I'm off my script because as a preacher, I've got to tie myself down. So we are joining together, people of faith and goodwill, with the Community Alliance of Tenants and an incredible Tenants' Rights Board to say we join with you in declaring a renters' state of emergency. Yeah. We join with the renters, the Community Alliance of Tenants, and all of us in this city to say we have to stop letting people be evicted in these 30-day notices and sweeps. We have to demand that our leadership in this city, and let me say to every elected leader, or anybody who thinks they're going to run for office, you better side yourselves and measure the city on how we, who are the most vulnerable, are doing, because if we don't, we won't have the city we want. And to be a leader in the city takes courage. Don't pay lip service. Get out there and vote. Get out there and lead. Because we must make it just. We stand in solidarity with the Community Alliance of Tenants and every citizen in this city who needs fair and just housing to say that they must end. We must stand together and make sure everybody has a place to live. We stand in solidarity. Look at this group. Look at all of you. Turn to your neighbor. Turn to your neighbor and say, you are divine. Say, you are beautiful.
We have a lot of issues.
Say, you deserve safe and secure and fair housing that we can all afford. Big lines. And say, we will not stop.
We will not stop.
Until we do justice. Until we love kindness. Until we walk humbly with one another in a fair and safe housing. You're good. You're good. Thank you.
Next up, we have Juan and Francia, and our organizer, Cristina Palacios, will be translating.
And forgive me if my translation isn't as perfect. I didn't get a degree on translating. And just so you know, we have a nun from Providence here supporting this family. This is what our leaders do, like Pastor Mark and everyone is standing here and you. Thank you for being here, and we're ready to start.
Hi, my name is Juan Gonzalez, and my family and I, we feel so sad about what's gonna happen. They just take our lives away. We come here North Portland 12 years ago with the hope to find a place to live. A place secure, safe for our children, for my wife, for my family. We used to be happy until the day they come when they tell us that they sold apartments. We have to move out. After that day, everything changed. It's been so hard.
Se puede. Sí se puede. Yes, we can. Sí se puede.
It's been so hard for us to find another place to live. We've been looking around. We don't.
And like you see, this is very emotional for families. The sister that is being letting them stay at their living room is going to now talk to you about their experience. And she's going to talk in Spanish, so please bear with us.
Y ellos están físicamente y emocionalmente deprimidos.
They're physically and mentally depressed
porque no les dieron una oportunidad de tiempo o un lugar donde vivir.
because they got very short notice and no place to go and come home.
Nos desalojaron y fue muy injusto.
She's saying what the family wants to say. We got evicted and that was very unjust.
En la búsqueda de que andábamos buscando departamento, encontramos gente injusta que nos bajaron nuestra moral.
In our findings, when we were looking around to try to find housing, we found people that brought our moral down.
Con comentarios negativos y se podría decir racistas.
They have very negative comments and even racist comments.
Fue y sigue siendo un estrés terrible.
It was and is still a very stressful situation.
Mis hijos no disfrutaron sus vacaciones de verano, pues anduvimos buscando día tras día dónde vivir.
My kids were not able to enjoy summer because day after day we were looking for a place to be able to live.
Sin encontrar respuestas, pasamos noches sin dormir, de pensar cuál sería nuestro futuro y aún la seguimos pasando.
There were very nights, and still the nights are still happening, where we don't know what our future is holding for us.
Cuando hablamos a la empresa que compró los departamentos para que nos diera unos días más, solo 2 días más,
When we called the company that bought our apartment, we were asking them for 2 more days, only 2 more days.
y se negaron.
and we got denied.
Y nos dijeron que si no nos salíamos, llegaría el sheriff a sacarnos de ahí.
We were told that if we were not out by the day they told us, the sheriff was going to come and take us out.
No quedó alternativa y todos nuestros muebles y juguetes de los niños los tuvimos que tirar.
We have no other option but to throw away our kids' toys, and all of our furniture went to the dump.
Ya que vivimos del sueldo de mi esposo y no tenemos ahorros que nos permitieran guardar.
Our only income is my husband's wages, but we had no savings to be able to go to another place.
Lo que por 12 años juntamos con sacrificio,
What we hardly earned or bought for 12 years with lots of sacrifice,
todo se fue a la basura.
it went to the dumpster.
Espero pronto encontrar una estabilidad para mis hijos,
We hope that we can soon find stability for our kids.
pues fue muy injusto todo lo que nos hicieron perder.
It was very unfair of all the things that we needed to get rid of.
Tenemos la esperanza de encontrar una nueva oportunidad
We have hopes to find an opportunity
para comenzar una nueva vida con nuestros hijos.
so we can start all over again with our kids. Thank you.
I want to remind folks that it takes a lot of courage for tenants to speak out. Oftentimes that they are not willing to share their names or their photos with us because they don't want to get blacklisted when they're searching for housing. And so it is very difficult for us to be able to carry that story of tenants because they are scared about that type of action when it's their homes that they're looking for and their homes that they're putting at risk. And next up, we have our Deputy Director of the Community Alliance of Tenants, Katrina Holland.
Hi, everybody. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out this evening. I want to thank everybody for your support. Thank members of the press, folks who are leading us, our elected officials. This is an important issue.
Are they here?
It's an important moment in Portland's history, a critical moment for our community, a moment in time in which we have some real decisions to make and some tough work to do. I don't have to go into great detail about what it is that we're facing. We know why we're here. We just heard why we're here. Those of us tenants here in the audience and anyone who's been following the rental market, we know what's going on. We're losing our homes every day.
Yes.
Ranked as 4th in the nation for the rate at which rents are rising, while wages remain too low to support the cost of living,
Exactly.
people are losing their housing faster than we can keep up.
Yes.
It feels like an earthquake,
That's right. A tsunami.
a tsunami. Within a matter of minutes, our world can be turned completely upside down by an envelope on our doors with a note inside that says, we're upgrading the building for higher rents. It's not personal, just charging what the market will bear.
Right. The market, they say.
Or we will not be renewing your lease.
Right.
Greed run rampant.
Our entire lives are immediately disrupted.
That's right.
No regard for the stability we're maintaining, for our children's education, for their friends, for our financial or commuting routines, our health, our jobs.
Right.
All of these things are suddenly threatened and impacted
Yes.
with no escape.
Exactly.
If that sounds harsh, you're right. It absolutely is harsh.
It is.
Though the notices on the landlord's intentions may not read that way exactly, the reality of the impact, as we've seen, as we've heard, is that harsh. This rental disaster is forcing this dramatic reality on too many people. Sorry, I'm getting emotional about it.
Domestic terrorism.
Exactly.
We believe that the business relationship between landlord and tenant should be mutually respectful and beneficial.
Right.
today's rental market makes it difficult to create the space for that kind of relationship.
Right.
Tenants' health and well-being should be a priority, just as the landlord's ability to do what he or she pleases with their property is a priority.
Right.
Tenants pay for a place to call home.
Exactly.
The very foundation of our lives, of our communities. And this earthquake, this unscrupulous market is crumbling that foundation.
Okay. This,
Yeah.
all right. This unscrupulous market is crumbling that foundation right beneath our feet. No, okay. It should be much harder and much slower to remove tenants from this foundation, the place to call home. But right now, it's much harder for a tenant to find a home than it is for a landlord to get them out, and that is unacceptable.
Right. Yeah.
No-cause evictions and skyrocketing rents are ripping apart our communities. We have seen too many people face this reality for too long. We're faced with unthinkable decisions between housing, food, health,
Yes.
our kids, transportation. This is beyond a crisis.
Right.
This is an emergency.
Yes.
Our communities are hemorrhaging. And the bleeding has to stop.
Yes.
We are better than this, Portland.
That's
We're
right.
better than this.
Right.
Our policy demands, we're demanding that there be an immediate moratorium on no-cause terminations for at least 1 year.
Bring it.
We are also demanding that any rent raises above 5% have a mandatory minimum notice of at least 1 year. To allow people a chance to safely relocate. We know 1 or 2 months is not enough time.
Right.
We're also calling on sympathetic landlords and supporters to sign our Renter SOS Landlord Pledge that's available on our website to show their respect and support for their tenant neighbors and voluntarily agree to these 2 requests. We hear from landlords every day. They don't agree. There are some who do not agree with the level of greed and pain that we're seeing. We have a community that cares about people here in Portland and throughout Oregon. We all know that we can and should do better than this. We applaud the work of policymakers, landlords, and tenants working together to reduce displacement in the long term. And again, our communities need immediate bold action at this moment. Let's keep our communities together, stable, and safe. Let's prevent the most vulnerable from being displaced rather than trying to put the pieces back together again after the damage is already done.
Exactly.
We have an opportunity, Portland. We have an opportunity to be innovative in how we handle this housing crisis.
Right.
As a city on a national stage, we have an obligation to demonstrate what effective policy and anti-displacement work looks like. A growing city, community development, and stability can coexist without displacement. Portland can be an inclusive place, a place where landlords, policymakers, and tenants can work together to achieve a healthy rental market, a place where people can grow their dreams, contribute to this community, and people can keep a place to call home. Thank you.
Thank you, Katrina. Very fitting with the bullhorn. Sometimes we're grassroots here, you know. So to conclude tonight, we have, Casey Jama from the Center for Intercultural Organizing. Kat and CIO have been working together for something like 5 years now, organizing in our communities, lifting up the voice of people of color, immigrants and refugees, and people that need access to the decisions that we make, whether it's policymakers or as a community, and we're proud to stand with CIO.
All right.
him.
Let me first say this. Let's all of us say, and this family who just spoke in front of us, they are such an incredible and brave family. So let's together say, we stand in solidarity with you.
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 Louder, we stand in solidarity with you.
We stand in solidarity with you.
Thank you. Again, my name is Jesse Drama. I am the Executive Director of the Center for Intercultural Organizing. We are a grassroots organization committed for social justice. Let me say this to you. I have been in Portland about 15 years now. And those 15 years, I engaged the city and many other people who are discussing what should we do? How do we handle our housing crisis? Those 15 years, today, I want to report back to you as a community member. I want to report back what I have learned 15 years. My report back to you as a community members is this. We have a broken promises from our elected officials. Broken promises after one another, each time telling us they care. They care if you just believe me. And I will take care of you. It is not that simple. They also promised us and left us empty-handed while they are working closely with developers. So today I stand in front of you to say that it's time as a community members that we stand. We are the residents of this city. We are the residents of this state.
Yes.
My house was just about a block away from this park. And I've been living in that house about 6 years with my family. In those 6 years, my rent was increased 45%. Although in the last 6 months, I moved it twice.
Yes. Right.
And now, although I live comfortably in 127 at Burnside, and I bought a little place that I call home, not every Portlander have that chance and that opportunity.
That's right. That's right. Tell
We
it.
know that. We also know that we displaced a community who has been living here for a long time.
Right.
The native community, the African American community.
Yes.
We displace them. We tell them to go away because there's others who are moving in.
Right.
That is not acceptable.
Unacceptable.
So my colleagues, my friends who are here today, we have to stand together united.
Right.
This is a crisis.
It is.
It is a crisis that means we all have to come to work together.
Yes.
And demand, not us. We should demand no one should be affected.
That's
No
right.
one should be
right.
affected
No one.
because someone says so. If they pay their rent, they should be able to stay in their homes.
Yeah.
No more eviction. No more eviction. No more eviction. And finally, my friends, as Kat laid out, we are also asking a one-year moratorium for no-cost eviction. You know, my friends, we can make it happen. We shouldn't be asking, we should ask the elected officials, we should be demanding. We are community, one community, where our faiths are intertwined as community. We are intertwined, our faiths are intertwined. If we take care of the people who are on the bottom, we will be benefiting as a community, and we make sure we create inclusive community for all.
Yes.
And lastly, we know that in order for family to pay their rent or to buy a house, they have to be making living wage. We know that. And you know what? I do not believe the minimum wage. I do not. What I believe is a living wage. That's what I believe. So we have to ask and demand the wages of our community, both those who are in the bottom, should be raised in an ability where they can pay their living costs and able to pay their rent and able to put their food on the table of their family.
Right.
I ask you, all of us, let's join with God, let's join with this campaign, and let's demand again that we don't need no cause eviction, and let's this campaign make bigger. Let me ask this, how many elected officials are here today? Raise your hands if you are here.
How many what?
How many elected officials are in this crowd? Raise your hands if you are elected. Where are you? Where are you? You should be here. You should be here.
Commissioner Deborah Kafori?
Yes, exactly.
Let's make this demand a reality and make sure all our families have a roof over their head. Thank you very much. And last but not least, Diana Paywu. She's a longtime supporter of the Community Lands and Tenants as the Executive Director of Jobs with Justice.
Can't
Not
hear
that
you.
long. She just started.
Can't hear you, Justin.
We stand with Jobs with Justice in demanding a living wage, a higher minimum wage.
Can't hear you.
What we need is a higher minimum wage and a living wage, and our partners at Jobs with Justice are going to work with us to get there, because that is how we would also achieve housing affordability and stability.
When I say renter, you say SOS, renter! SOS! Renter! SOS! When I say renter, you say SOS, renter! SOS! Renter! SOS! All right. Again, my name is Diana Paywu. I'm the Executive Director of Portland Jobs with Justice, and we are proud to stand here today with the residents of North and Northeast Portland. We're proud to stand here with the Community Alliance of Tenants, with our friends like Jerry Sunval, and all of our union brothers and sisters who are in the house. Make a big noise if you're a union member or a worker. We know that people organize is what it takes to make real change. We also know that as rents go up, it gets harder and harder to make the rent. And so it's really important to raise the wage. As unions, as representatives of unions, and as worker organizations, what we are here to say is that raising the minimum wage, raising it to above 15 is going to help people stay in their homes, it's going to help people pay their rent. Make a noise! When I say renter, you say SOS, renter! SOS! Renter! SOS! All right, now we're going to do it in Spanish. This one says, if there's no justice, no peace. I'm going to say, sin justicia. And what you're going to say is, no hay paz.
No hay paz.
All right? Sin justicia!
No hay paz.
Sin justicia!
No hay paz.
Sin justicia!
No hay paz.
Right, so we're here for the long run, like Pastor Mark said. We're here. We know it takes a long haul, and that's what we're here for. Portland Jobs with Justice is going to be 25 next year, and we have spent the 25 years here in Portland standing with organizations in solidarity, making sure that we're there for the long haul, and making sure that we're there to win. We leverage each other's power. Jill Fab is in the crowd somewhere. If you want to sign up for our email list, we'll let you know when events like this happen as well. So, when I say renter, you say SOS! SOS! Renter! SOS! Renter! SOS! All right, see you in the streets. Thank you all.
hope to see a response soon from those people that can help us make decisions and find temporary immediate solutions. We would encourage people to take their photos and register with us. We're going to be running a social media campaign to show how many. We're going to be running a social media campaign to share stories of people that have been displaced from rent increases and no-cause evictions. We also want to see photos of people that are standing with them or have experienced those terminations or rent increases themselves. And we need to show just how much support we have, how much of this is affecting our community. And so we have a photo booth set up over here so people can take their photo. Thank you all very much for coming out today.